All right, we're talking Wyoming Valley West Swimming here at Arcaro and Genell, the pizza capital of the world, and Frank Trebendis, the head coach, with us. And Frank, let's talk a little bit about this talented team that you have and the successes that you had both on the girls and the guys' side.
Yeah, well, I mean, the girls we lost some numbers this year, so the girls weren't as strong, but we have 4 really good seniors, and they're doing great. The boys' side, we basically have 3 seniors and a whole bunch of juniors, and they're doing really great. They've worked hard and got a great attitude, and yeah, we've broken some records, and there's records that would never happen until the end of March, and they happened 2-3 weeks ago. So we're really thrilled.
Talk about these kids. You know, people say it. You know, whether it's football or swimming or whatever. You know, kids' work ethic's a little bit different. But when you have successes and records being broken, still kids buying into what you're doing there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think like we've said to the people, like this year, yeah, we only had really 8 girl swimmers and 4 divers, and that really hurt us as far as the girls go. But I've seen it go in cycles. You know, in the next 2 years, the girls could be loaded and the boys will lose out. Just a matter of how it goes, and just like anything else, we got to get down into the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade and recruit, just like any other team does. And I remember the one coach I used to work with, he said, "Boy," he said, "how come these kids don't come out?" I said, "You have to go recruit them. You have to still keep talking."
Yep. You got to sell sales in all of our lives and what we're trying to do to get across.
I think the good thing with us is we don't have to cut. So people get a chance to really work and improve. And when they start improving, things happen great. Then there's a whole different attitude.
Let's talk about the 2 young ladies that are here. Tell us who they are and what their talents are in the pool.
Chelsea McKevitt has been a sprinter since day one in her freshman year, and she's walked in the districts this year as the top seed in the 50, second seed in the 100. She's always done, she can do other strokes, and she's done other strokes. In fact, she'll lead off her medley relay with backstroke. Paige was basically started being a polo player and found that swimming was quite a bit. She goes anywhere from the 200 to the 500 to the fly. Good breaststroker, good IMer. You know, they can do anything, which is great.
How about over on the guy side?
The guy side, you got 2 of our top. We have probably 6 really good boys, and these are 2 at the top of those 6. And hardworking. Logan is a senior. He's an extremely hard worker. Max is a junior, and all of a sudden putting up some great numbers. Logan, he's IMing, he can sprint, he's a freestyler, he's a flyer, he's a backstroker, he's done everything. And then Max slowly is now, we're going into districts with him in the IM, which means he's got 4 strokes. They become a good sell for college coaches.
You talk about the state tournament. You know, districts is coming up.
Talk about this Saturday.
Yeah, talk about the state tournament though. Has that changed a lot with the classifications at all?
No, the classifications say, you know, if they made any more classifications, we'd have to have 2 or 3 weekends. So they've left that alone. The big thing now is that Lexi Advantage is not here. She's already ranked 3rd in the state in 100 breaststroke. Logan is ranked in his 100 fly and his backstroke. Max is ranked in his 500. Both are 2 of our relays, our medley and our boys 400 free relay is ranked in the top 6 at the state, and that ranking also includes AA schools. So these guys have a chance to come home with some real good hardware.
All right, great to hear. Great to see you again, and look forward to talking to the guys and the girls there at Wyoming Valley West. Chelsea McKevitt joining us from the Wyoming Valley West swim team. And Chelsea, let's talk about the successes you've had this year in the pool.
Well, I've had basically a streak of wins, but there has been some tough competition. I lost a few times, but other than that, I thought it's been a pretty good year, a lot steady competition. I feel like I've been pushed a lot this year, more than any other year, but this year has been especially good.
Let's talk a little bit about your favorite strokes. Coach said that you have some talent to do different ones, but talk about some of the ones you do well at.
My main stroke is freestyle. I like freestyle the best. I've been actually experimenting with distance and with sprinting, with the 50 and with the 500. I actually like the 500. I can do the IM, I can do backstroke, but most importantly, I enjoy freestyle.
Not many ever here want to do the 50 and the 500. That's pretty unusual. Talk about how that came about, and what about that 500 you really like it?
I think it just built stamina for the 50, and then I also apply it to the 100 because the last 50 and the 100 is probably my worst 2 laps. So I think the stamina I was able to build from the 500 actually applied to the 100 freestyle.
Peaking at the right time, so important. Coach mentioned there's been some records early in the season compared to maybe in March. You guys accomplished a few in February.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
It's not so much with the girls team, it's mostly with the boys team, but I think we all have the same work habits. The girls have had a really tough time this year, especially since we lost a lot of important assets last year, but records, I think we have mostly personal records, and I think all of us have been doing pretty steady this season.
Talk about your future endeavors, what lies ahead for you.
I'm going to Penn State, Maine, and I'm going to be a lawyer. I don't know if I will swim. I will play water polo, though, most likely. So.
Awesome. Talk about getting into the field. What made you interested in law?
Well, I've been bouncing around every other major, but then I realized swimming actually kind of contributed to that because you have to be tough, you have to be level-headed, you can't panic when there's a bad situation, and I thought that's pretty good for law.
All right, well, we wish you the very best at the district meet this weekend, and who knows, states could be on the way as well. So congratulations on a nice season.
Thank you.
Maxim Kowalski with us from the Wyoming Valley West swim team. Maxim, let's talk a little bit about your season this year. What were some of the events that you really excelled at?
The main events were the 200 freestyle and the 500 freestyle. Those were my main events. But towards the middle end of the season, I started bringing in my 200 IM, which is all the strokes, into my list of events.
How tough is the sport of swimming?
Really tough. I didn't start swimming until freshman year, and I had a lot of weight on me, so it was tough to get all that off and start swimming fast with the big boys. It was a really tough time, but I got there, and I just work hard every day.
Talk about getting into the swing of it and saying, okay, I'm starting to get pretty good at this now. I'm watching everything I do.
It didn't really start until a couple weeks into it. My coach Frank called my parents and had a meeting. Was like, who taught this kid how to swim? And my mom's like, my dad, and I taught him. And he's like, he's never swam before, and he's like, nope. And he's like, well, he's pretty good at it. Keep it up. We'll watch him, and he has a future in sport. So I go in every day. I think of that as my motivation, and I just use that and just try to get better every day.
We talk about the district meet. What are you looking forward to and some of the challenges this weekend?
Challenges, I have to do the backstroke leg for the medley relay and get out of that and go straight into the 200 IM, which is only 2 events afterwards. So I don't have much rest there. But me being an endurance swimmer, I think I can pull it off and I can do a great time in each event. Then the next day I will have the 500, and I'll have a little bit more rest than that, but the 500 is a long race itself, so I'll be dead by the end of that. But I will help my relay with the 400 free relay as best as I can and give us best chance of winning that.
You consider anything about swimming, like there's a little bit of a grind to it, like getting through some of these long practices, and the season's long with water polo when you throw a lot of the swimmers do that too.
Yeah, this year was probably one of my worst years motivation-wise. It was hard getting up and like, I want to get better because I had a rough start. I wasn't where I wanted to be, but when you think about it, I want to be, I think everyone wants to be the best. So I think about the people around me who are faster and better, and I'm like, I have 2 arms and 2 legs. I could do what they're doing, and I pushed through it. And after the hard practice, I'm like, I just did that. I think I could do more, and I just pushed through it, and I come on top, hopefully.
All right. Well, we wish you well at districts and hopefully states for yourself. Congratulations on a nice year. Logan Fleegle with us from the Wyoming Valley West swim team. And Logan, let's talk about the events that you've competed in this year and the success that you've had again this season.
Yeah, well, I usually do the fly every meet, and this year I've opted out of the 200 IM and I'm doing backstroke now. Yeah, coach has me in the backstroke.
We'll talk a little bit about the positives about the backstroke and some of the challenges of it as well.
Well, backstroke's a lot like butterfly, excuse me. A lot of underwaters off the walls, and that's kind of how butterflies swim in short course yards. So that also helps me in my races.
You talk about putting in the time to swimming. Your guys been pretty dedicated over the years.
Yeah.
How challenging has it been?
It's very challenging. Our practices have been more about quality, so a lot more like short sprint work and not as much about the yards. It's more based on the quality of the practices this year.
Trying to get other kids involved in swimming. Coach said, hey, you got to go out and recruit some of these kids, whether it's girls or guys. Talk about you and your teammates and knowing that you guys have been through grinding practices, tough weeks, probably 6-day-a-week practices or doubles or whatever. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there's a lot to practices. We've tried to recruit some kids. We recruited a senior boy that actually came out this year, and he's improved tremendously. Just great success in the sport.
And for you, how about the future endeavors? What's up next for you?
I haven't committed anywhere, but I want to swim collegiately, and I'm looking at like physical therapy as maybe a major possibility. Just going to keep the doors open.
You hear a lot of kids that have been dedicated to swimming. They may go D3, D2, D1. There's a lot of options out there, but you're still, no matter what division you go, you're going to have to put in that work.
Yeah, I'm not really looking at the divisions. It's kind of just like where I fit best in, whether that be Division 1, 2, or 3. That's kind of how I'm looking at colleges.
As far as Coach Trebendis, who's been there so long, what's your relationship like with him and seeing what he tries to do with the program? And he's a pretty dedicated guy himself.
Yeah, he has been really dedicated to us this year. I've known Coach since I was like 10 years old, so I've had a really great relationship, and it's grown each year. I've gone closer to him, and he's really helped me and become like a great athlete and great person overall.
You talk about being a well-balanced guy, the people at home that have helped you out become who you are.
Yes, you're correct, John. My parents have really influenced me, and Coach has, including my teammates. I met a lot of friends over swimming, so that's also great.
You've always been a well-spoken young man. You have a bright future ahead of you. We wish you the very best at districts and hopefully at states as well.
Thank you, John.
We're with Paige Williams from the Wyoming Valley West swim team, and Paige, it's your senior year.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your swim career there at Wyoming Valley West.
Yeah, I played soccer freshman year, and I switched that up for water polo, and then water polo leads into swimming, so then I just kind of followed it through to stay in shape for water polo, and I ended up liking it a lot. So I stuck with it for 4 years, and now it's over, and it's getting sad, and kind of miss it.
A lot of people, coaches say, hey, they were really a good swimmer, and then they fell in love with water polo. For you, what did water polo do for you?
Was a lot of swimming and water polo. So it's just a very aggressive sport, which I like, and it's very team related. Like swimming's more individualized, but it's like has a group aspect to it. But I like how we were all a team and we were all very close. But it just followed through, so I was like, hey, why not? I'll do it, and yeah. Some
of the relationships that you continue from water polo over to swimming, bringing it up to Logan, it's such a tight group to know that how many hours and practices that you put in.
Oh my God, there's got to be so many. I remember my freshman year and be like, I should just live here because I'm here so much. We're very close, extremely close.
Do you sometimes when you're on land think you feel like you're in the water because you've been, so...
Yeah, or like when we run for school, like for gym class, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sore because you don't use those muscles.
Yeah, definitely different. Let's talk about what you're expecting this weekend at districts. Pretty competitive.
Yeah, it's really close. I swim the 2 free, and I'm seated 4th, but I'm seated 4th with milliseconds apart. So it's gonna be a touch-up probably.
And trying to peak at the right time and being on those blocks.
Yeah.
Talk about the things going through your mind at some of those moments.
Nervousness, so nervous, and then everyone's really loud, and then just dead silence. And then you're on the block, and they say go, and oh my God. But once you hit the water, you just don't think about it.
Let's talk about your support system. Tell us about the people at home that root you on.
Yeah, my parents are very supportive. My mom and dad, they've always supported me, even through water polo and into swimming. I didn't enjoy swimming at first just because it was very long hours, really competitive and really aggressive. A lot of swimming. And I was always sore, but they've always helped me to stay on track and be supportive and tell me just get through it, you'll love it. And I ended up loving it. In junior year, I peaked a lot, I got a lot better, and yeah, I just ended up loving it a lot more.
What's next for Paige Williams for the future here?
I don't know yet. The future is I hopefully want to play water polo collegiately, And then the hopes is to become an orthodontist one day.
Oh my gosh, well,
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
a great plan that you
Yeah.
have. And we wish you the very best.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
this coming weekend, and I hope the
Yeah.
nerves settle a little bit, okay?
Oh God, I hope so. Thank you.